Well, the thing is, you can't really just keep applying for the PenFed personal loan over and over and over and getting your ass rejected, right? So in today's conversation, what I want to do, I want to talk about the $50,000 PenFed personal loan and how do you get a large amount as a relatively new member. So if you've been with PenFed for less than 3 years, you are officially considered a relatively new member. So I want to show you the hacks you can implement to get the $50,000 PenFed loan. Okay, don't you go anywhere. You got to love today's conversation. I guarantee it.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging in the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the $50,000 PenFed personal loan. How do you get a large amount as a relatively new member? Okay, if you've been around for less than 3 years, you're a newbie, you're a new kid on the block. How do you get the $50,000 personal loan? Now, the $50,000, that's actually the maximum, right? But we're trying to shoot as high as possible. The first thing is, I want to explain to you everything you need to understand about the PenFed personal loan. So this is a loan you can get on a soft pull basis. In other words, you don't have to actually jeopardize your good credit through a hard pull. You can get a soft pull, okay? You can check your rate on the website. And what we love about this personal loan is that it has pretty interesting features. So you have an APR that goes as low as 5.49%. This is really good. Terms up to 60 months. And you have loans up to $50,000. That's the maximum, okay? And there's no early payoff penalty and no origination fee, no hidden fees. The cool thing about PenFed is, and they're constantly kicking ass in this department, they are innovating. Their app is great. They're if you go online, you do the dashboard, you look at your account dashboard, fantastic, okay? So the process is very simple. You check your rate without affecting your credit score, okay? So this is the soft pull I was talking about earlier. Then you can actually select from multiple pre-approved offers. What happens is that PenFed is going to give to you, let's say 3 or 4 or 5 pre-approved offers. It's up to you to actually see the amount, the maturity that you want to choose, and the APR, okay? And then you'll receive your money in 1 or 2 business days after verification of your income, of your address, and all that kind of stuff. The cool thing is, for this loan, the $50,000 personal loan, you can use it for a lot of things. You can use it for debt consolidation. This is really good. You can use it as a credit card refinancing strategy. Okay, you can do it. You can use it for a home improvement, and it doesn't really matter whether you're a new member or old member. Old in the sense of membership. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can use the loan for medical expenses. You can use the loan as an emergency loan, as a wedding loan, as a vacation loan, whatever. It's totally up to you, boss. I mean, you really have to realize what you want the loan for, and you have to apply it properly. So let's get into the hacks, the steps you need to take to get the maximum amount you need and deserve. First, I want to talk to you about deposits. See, the thing here is that, what was that? Oh, no, I'm going to talk about that. Just wait. I'll talk about your FICO score later on, but I first want to talk about deposits. So the thing is that you need to be within PenFed at least 6 months before you apply for a loan. So if you're a newbie, you want to wait 6 months. And what you do in the meantime is you're trying to constitute your asset. You want to beef up your relationship with the institution, right? You want to have what we call NPR. You want to have a strong NPR. And the cool thing is that the funny thing is, when you constitute your NPR, when you cultivate a relationship with PenFed, they start looking at you differently. Oh yeah. They start looking at you differently. They start realizing this person has bank, this person has cash, this person has direct deposit. This person is constituting a war chest. This is what I want you to get into. I want you to understand that credit is a game. And the whole thing is you have to know how to play the game. And part of the game is you need to constitute your assets. You can't just be walking around, just having, I'm begging for loans day in and day out. No. At some point, you need to constitute your assets. So what I want you to do right now in terms of deposit is to open a checking account if you haven't already done so. Okay. You need to open a savings account. So you got to have at least two. See, when we talk about NPR, you need to have your war chest must have fundamentally two asset accounts. So your checking accounts, your savings account. I want you to put some ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching in that savings. Boss, I'm talking to you. Cuz, I'm talking to you. My nephew, my niece, everybody, I'm talking to you. I mean, I don't care where you at right now in your life. I want you to pay attention to this. You want to open a checking and savings account, and if you have extra cash parked somewhere, you want to open an MMA. You want to open a certificate account, a CD, a certificate of deposit. Okay, you can even try to open an IRAs. Let's talk about that. Are you thinking about your retirement? Right now you're all young and you go to parties every night, whatever. But hey, listen, at some point you need to have some assets when you're old. Boss, I'm talking to you. All right. So you want to think about opening your IRA right now. And this should be part of your strategy to actually constitute a war chest, a monetary war chest with PenFed. IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account. Okay. You want to open that ASAP. So that's going to help you get the loan, because PenFed will start looking at you differently. This is someone who has some bank. This is someone who has some assets. Okay, we can trust them, because the whole thing is that to repay a loan, you need cash, right? And you gotta strengthen your liquidity situation to be in a good position to get the loan you need and deserve. Another thing you can try, and Tisha, you talked about this last time. I want to really rebound on that. You need to try to get a pledge loan. If you are a newbie, if you're a new member at PenFed and you're trying to get the PenFed personal loan for $50,000 maximum, you want to try the pledge loan. What is this? The pledge loan is basically a certificate secured loan. Okay. The whole thing is, hey, listen, you just open a certificate with them, right? It's like a savings account or whatever. It's like a CD, whatever. And you put in 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 and whatnot. It really depends on you. Okay. You put that and you get a secure loan. In other words, the certificate, the amount, the cash in the certificate constitutes the collateral for the loan. But the cool thing is that you are able to build your credit. Okay, it is fantastic. When you get the cash, guess what? You don't spend it because you don't need it in the first place, right? It will be too dumb to actually get the cash and start spending on something, because that's your savings, right? Anyway, you get the cash, you put the cash in a savings account, and you turn around and you just pay the pledge loan, let's say in 3 months or 6 months. This strategy, it's analogous. It is similar to people do with a Navy Fed. And I'm gonna tell you, this works fantastically. So you can see a bump of 100 points in about 90 days. Don't listen to folks telling you 30 days you can pump up your score 30 days by 100 points. This is bullshit. Okay, nothing's going to happen here. You want to take time. It takes time to build credit. I want this thing to sink in. It takes time to build credit. Okay, and it takes time to actually have the right strategy. So how much you need to put in your pledge loan? Listen, the pledge loan the amount of pledge loan that you get depends on the amount that you have in the underlying asset, in the underlying certificate. Okay, let's just get that straight. It's really important, folks. Okay, so one thing you need to understand here is that if you want to apply for a certificate secure loan, aka pledge loan, think about your monthly income, think about your current debts, your credit rating and history, your personal information, your recent tax returns. I want you to think about a strategy to repay the loan back. Even though this is a pledge, this is a secure loan, you still need to pay it back, right? So think about the strategy you need to implement right now. This is important. Mike, I want you to listen, because this is going to help you bump up your credit score. Because you told me you are a what, 674? That's your FICO score, 675. 675 is kind of cool, but you want to bump it up. Whatever you can to bump it up, do it. So try the pledge loan. This could help you. The next thing I want you to try is actually talk about your job and income. See, if you're a newbie, if you've been a PenFed for less than three years, you still considered officially a newbie. And what I want you to do right now is to pay attention to your job information and your income. What is that? Let's just talk about it. Let's say you just started a job, or you've been in the same job for 5 years or 10 years or whatever. Okay. You right now, I want you to write it down. You want to go on PenFed. You want to look into your account dashboard and you want to update your income information, boss. This is going to help you. You know why? Because the algorithm, there is an algorithm at PenFed that crawls the data and takes whatever information you put in there and pays attention. And that data that they take is important when it comes to pre-qualifying you, when it comes to the soft pull that I talked about earlier. Okay. And so you want to update your income information, but of course I'm not asking you to lie here. You want to tell the truth, right? Because if they want to verify your information, if you lie, that's kind of dumb. You don't want that. Okay. So you want to take your ass right now to your dashboard, either on the app or online, and you want to update your pay information, your job history, the time of the last pay raise, if you have been raised at work, whatever. You want to put all the information there. When we talk about job and income, we also talk about your W-2, your 1099 or 1040. Information on those three documents is quintessential. Okay. Make sure, this is really important, that your income is in sync with your debt. And we're talking here about debt to income ratio, right? So relative to your income, relative to your debt must be in sync. In other words, you want to be around 30%. You want to have a good DTI. What's that? No. What? No, there is a difference between the DTI and the CUR. The CUR stands for those of you who are still newbies here, CUR stands for credit utilization ratio. The thing is, we have the DTI and CUR, they are correlated, right? But in this case, I'm talking about DTI. DTI is just a fraction. Don't you be confused here. It's very simple. It's the fraction. You take your total debt payment and you divide that by your income. That's what it is. Your income on a gross basis, on a pre-tax basis. Okay. And the amount you get, that's your DTI. The whole thing here is that you want to have a DTI that's around 30%, 35%. That's the sweet spot. If you're above that, it's still okay. The PenFed might qualify you, but you might get a higher APR and a lower loan amount. That's just something you need to know about. Let me talk to you now about your credit card. Folks, for those of you who just joined us, what are we talking about here? We are talking about the $50,000 PenFed personal loan. How do you get a large amount as a relatively new member? So if you've been around for less than 3 years, how do you get a large amount? So I talked about the PenFed loan overall, the overview of the loan itself, the deposits you need to constitute, part of your MPR, your multi-product relationship. I spoke about the pledge loan, which is a great hack. So you just get a certificate secure loan from PenFed so you can bump up your FICO. Okay. And I talked about job and income, trying to update your job and income. Now I want to talk to you about credit card. Now, what is credit card about? The thing here is that you want to get a PenFed credit card to continue building your credit. Listen, if you're not lucky enough, if they reject your ass, not a problem. Okay. Don't make a federal case out of it. Don't make us a big bougie boom boo out of it, whatever. That's okay. You can try other credit cards. There are gazillions of credit cards out there, but preferably you want to have a PenFed credit card and you want to start little. You want to start small. And the cool thing is you can get a PenFed credit card after 6 months that you've been with the institution. Okay. And here are a few PenFed credit cards for you to consider. So we have, if you are into travel, if you're a travel lover, whatever, you can actually go for the PenFed Pathfinder Rewards Visa Signature. This is a great card that allows you to get 3 points back per dollar spent on travel purchases and 4 points back on travel for PenFed Honors Advantage members. Okay, if you're part of that program, and 1.5 points back per dollar spent on all other purchases. And there is actually a welcome offer that is 50,000 bonus points after spending $3,000 in purchase transactions within the first 90 days of account opening. Fantastic. If you ask me, this is just great. And they even have a 0% promo APR for 12 months on balance transfers. This is really good. And after that, the APR is kind of high though, 17.99. It's kind of high in this category of card. And you have another card that's great for gas in our view. That's the PenFed Platinum Rewards Visa Signature. Okay, here you have 5 points per dollar spent on gas at the pump and electric vehicle charging stations, 3 points per dollar spent on supermarket purchases. Okay, and 1 point per dollar on all other purchases. Fantastic too, though. I mean, do you have a welcome offer of 15,000 points after $1,500 spent during the first 3 months of card open date? Fantastic. And then if you're looking for a card that offers you flat rate rewards, you might want to try the PenFed Power Cash Rewards Visa Signature. Okay, this is a card that gives you a 1.5% unlimited cashback on all purchases. We're talking about 2% back cashback though for PenFed Honors Advantage program members. Fantastic. So here you have a trifecta of cards that are really great. There's a fourth card though, but I just want to give you some kind of ideas about what kind of card you can contemplate when we speak about PenFed, that building your credit through PenFed. I will be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about the $50,000 PenFed personal loan and how do you get it? How do you get a large amount, an amount as large as possible as a newbie, as a relatively new member? You've been here for three years and you want to get that loan, okay? Now, let's talk about FICO Score. So, Mike, now I'm basically talking about your topic now. So, FICO Score is important. And when we talk about FICO Score, what's that? The PenFed PenFed has a next gen internal score, and those two are correlated because the PenFed next gen score actually ranges from 300 to 850, similar to FICO Score anyway, okay, which is different from the Navy Fed internal score, which ranges from what? 100 to 450. Okay, so you see the delta there. But the cool thing is that no matter what you try to do, whether you're working on your PenFed next gen internal score or your FICO score, you just want to have a score as high as possible. Okay, if you're a newbie, you got to work on that. Okay, so you want to look at now for this particular loan though, I want to say that if you have a 600 or 625, that's kind of cool. The funny thing is we get comments all the time. We get some flack sometimes. People are very they tell us, oh, well, you're just spreading false information, blah, 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 blah. You know what? The funny thing is our team members are PenFed members. In addition to that, and we've been doing this for 20 years, okay? We've been following clients, and sometimes, so if we're telling you PenFed will approve you with a FICO score of 600, you better believe it. And I don't care what people write in the comment section, blah, 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 blah. I don't care because we have facts. We have proof. If you have 600 and you have a strong NPR with PenFed, you could qualify for the $50,000 PenFed personal loan, assuming everything else is held constant. I'm talking about your income. I'm talking about your family situation and whatnot, your geography, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you want to check your FICO score. That's the bottom line. Okay, you want to get a copy of your free credit reports from annualcreditreports.com, and you can get a free copy every 12 months. Okay, this is a government mandated website where you get a copy from all three credit bureaus. Okay, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Not a problem. Okay, and the thing is that you can spot if you have issues on your credit reports, right? If you see errors, if you see some inaccuracies, if you see some anything a little dodgy, whatever, somebody has been trying to use your good name and good credit score to sort of do crazy things around, you can just file a dispute letter. Okay, and that happens quickly. Before I close today's conversation, I want to give you a few pro tips. Okay, the thing is, whether you're a newbie or whether you are an oldie, whatever, but if you've been around for PenFed for a while and you want to get the $50,000 loan, and this tips apply to all kinds of loans, but you definitely want to run the numbers. You really want to run the numbers to make sure the monthly payments are in sync with your budget, because the last thing you want is realizing, hey, listen, I can't really make payments here. This is why I was talking to you earlier about liquidity, right? We want to get in a position where we understand liquidity, the importance of cash inflows and cash outflows, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. It's all about movement. It's all about the monetary movements in your account. This is important. And the thing is, if you believe that the monthly payments will be too high, you want to consider lowering the loan amount. Okay, and don't try to overestimate your ability to pay the loan. Stuff happen. You might have a child who is sick, family member in emergency. Stuff happens. Okay, so you really want to have a margin of error here. Really important. You also want to consider your options. Okay, the thing is that you may need a co-signer or a co-borrower. I mean, PenFed does not allow a co-signer. They might want a co-borrower. Who knows? If your FICO is kind of low, or your financial situation is kind of is a little, I would say, frail, is a little fragile, whatever, you might want to beef up. You might want to buttress your loan application by actually calling somebody else. You want to enlist the help of somebody else, so that person can be a co-borrower, right? We're talking about your spouse if you're married or whatnot. This could be your grandpa, your grandma, your aunt, your uncle, whatever, anybody close in the family, or a friend. Who knows? I mean, you know, if you're lucky enough to have a friend who can actually vouch for you, that's kind of cool. Okay, but now there are consequences though. When we talk about co-borrowing, we talk about co-signing, there are consequences in terms of what's that? Yeah, no, yeah. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So this is kind of, yeah. Well, Michelle, the thing is, I understand you. The thing is that you really want to make sure that you trust the person, right? If you have a co-borrower, you have to trust that person. Oh yeah, Michelle, I agree with you. So you want to shop around also for the best personal loan rates. You want to have people around you. You want to go on to other websites. I mean, maybe PenFed doesn't have the lowest rates for you. So look around. You can look around NavyFed. You want to look around the online lenders. You have Upgrade. You have gazillions of lenders out there. Okay, but at the end of the day, one thing you want to do is you want to pick a lender and apply. So that lender can be a PenFed or not. Okay, but I'm trying to tell you here is that you need to have options. You need to give yourself options. Okay, don't get clustered in a box where you feel like, you know what, you need to apply for a loan at PenFed or something else. No. PenFed is a great institution we love on this show. We've been members for 20 years or even actually more. But sometimes they might not have the best rates for you. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I was just talking to you about the $50,000 PenFed personal loan and how do you actually get a massive loan amount as a relatively new member, right? So we're talking about less than 3 years you've been around. You're a new kid on the block. You're trying to find your how do you say it? You're trying to find things. You're trying to understand how the system works, and the system works. So we just gave you a few tips. Okay. So number one, the PenFed loan, trying to understand what it is. Number two, you want to beef up your deposits. Number three, you want to work on your pledge loan. Number four, your job and income data must be updated. Very critical, boss. I want you to do that right now. Think about a credit card, getting a credit card from PenFed or not, or it's another credit card issuer. Okay. Think about your FICO score. And at the end, I give you a few pro tips to let you understand how the whole system works. I will see you next time. I want to thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.